You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
No.
And your goaltender?
Fleury.
Is Gus still kind of under the weather, I think?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't skated in 2 days. He traveled all day yesterday, didn't get in until last night, so he'll back up. But it probably wasn't the best situation for him to get into the game today.
With Fleury, we've seen the big wins like in San Jose and how the team reacts. And within these games, the incredible saves like we saw in Yossi the other night, it just feels like the team just loves to rally around him. From your perspective, what's the Flower effect on your guys?
Well, I think just that. He's such a competitor, that I think guys know. I think guys know with both guys when they get in the net that they're both going to compete. But I think Flower, he's got an infectious way about him, I think, in the way that he competes in the games. And, it's nice to see a guy of his stature, the intensity level that he brings night in and night out and battles for the team. It's the guys battle hard in front of him as well.
The last couple of starts for Flower, he's had a lot of high major chances against them. A big game in San Jose too. Like, how can you guys better support him, I guess, in a game like this?
Well, I think you have to, you want to try to do a better job. The bottom line when you play this team, he's going to have to make big saves tonight for us to be able to win. So I think any game you're going to give up looks and give up opportunities at certain times, and that's when you need your goaltenders to come up and make big saves at key times, and it'll be no different tonight.
Is it different afternoon games? I mean, it kind of throws the schedule off a little bit. Just how do you adjust to that?
I think they're great. You kind of get up and you play. I think the guys do like them. It's important, that you don't have the full day of waiting, which is a little bit different routine. But in my experiences, lots of times the coaches and players enjoy it because you kind of get up and you get right at it.
How has Marco Rossi been able to be so consistent these last couple of years for your hockey team?
Well, I think he's learning. He's learning and playing to his identity and how to do that consistently, whether he's producing or not producing. Now, the thing why he is producing, I think his game's been very consistent. He uses his speed. He's a really smart player. I think he's making good decisions offensively. I think he's getting himself into the scoring areas, and at the same time, he's playing big minutes against a lot of hard lines. I think his two-way game is. He's defending really well. He's really good support as a centerman in the D zone for breakout options, which allows his line to get up and out. I think when they have sustained D zone time, he's on task and on target with his responsibilities, and that's where his game's really grown.
You've had some issues in your own end getting out of there. Like, I know a lot of focus on the defensemen, but how much are forwards needed kind of in support of that when you're trying to work about breakouts and against a team like this?
Yeah, it's a combo of everything. Every guy's got to believe they're the way to get out of the zone, and I think it just comes from support and execution and making sure that if D are pinching hard, that we have strong wall plays, or can we access the middle to bypass that D. So there's a combo of it, but I wouldn't say we've struggled. You said we struggled a lot getting out. I think that there's certain times and certain games we have, but I think for the most part we've been a pretty good breakout team coming out of D-zone coverage team for the year.
Yeah, not every game. I'm saying like certain games when you've had some struggles. It's been part of that thing has been getting out of your.
Yeah. I mean, that drives a lot of teams, right? If you can get out of your zone and not have to defend as long, then you're going to be able to get more on the attack. So that's something we're going to make sure we're going to need to be good at tonight.
Your check seems like a pretty low-key guy, but a little more bounce in his step now. And I know he's pretty happy to get on the scoreboard. That one. Yeah,
it was nice for him. Obviously, it's for first goal as a Minnesota Wild player, and so that was nice. And it was nice to see him come down on the 2-on-1, and he's got a really good shot, and you can see that, and that he was a shooter in that position. So that's good.
What have the reports been for back home, like Kirill and Brodin? Are those guys progressing to getting back this week? Spurgeon,
possibly. It's tough to say now. They're continuing to progress, but probably have more of an answer on Wednesday when we get back to practice, and then go from there.
Same from Johansson too. Same thing.
Yep. Yeah, they're all. There's no one that I've been told is definitely in, but they're all progressing, and we do have a full team practice again on Wednesday, so I think that will probably tell quite a bit of who might be ready and who might not be. But it's tough to comment because it just seems like the target dates consistently change. Other than they are progressing, and when they're ready to play, they'll let me know.
Your team's been so good on the road this year. A couple losses in a row now on the road, which has been very rare. Just what do you have to get back to as far as being a solid road team, playing a good road game?
I just the consistency in our game and in certain areas. I don't think that there's a different recipe. Where we when you win and lose. I just think it's how the games have gone. So it's getting back to being on task with certain things against this team that are going to be really important. But to me, I'd like to see us play with much more purpose and intensity from from an offensive perspective than we did the other night. I think this is a team that you have to be strong in the forecheck. You want to make them defend. You got to make them stop in the D zone, and a lot of that comes with your puck decisions, getting over pucks, offensive zone play. I want us to be better in those areas than we were against Nashville.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.